This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
And welcome back, everybody. More and more homeowners realizing the equity that they have in their homes, and instead of selling them, especially because this is not it's a great time to sell. However, you got to go somewhere, so you got to buy, and everything's jacked up in terms of prices and, of course, the interest rate. So it makes a lot of sense to hang on to what you got, but maybe it doesn't totally serve you the way you want it to at this point in time. Bigger families, whatever the situation, it is time for a remodel. We're going to look at that, take you step by step. And this is exciting because this is the beginning stages of a remodel. I believe it's one entire floor that we're looking at with her today, our professional of the year and the owner of Tab Interior Designs. Trish Bonney is back with us. How are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
Good. This is why you're a professional of the year, because people entrust in you to redo an entire floor. Is this the first floor we're working on today?
It's the entire, so it's a tri-level house, but it is the whole first floor. We're calling it the first floor, with an 800 square foot addition.
Ooh, okay. And what motivated them to decide on doing this renovation?
They are a recently married blended family with
Okay.
lots of children, lots of pets. They found a home that fit in their investment point, but it's not enough space as it is. So they've already done a remodel and addition of the basement. It's a walkout basement level. They added 800 square foot down there. So we are doing the whole first floor now because it is okay to do things in phases, but we're doing the other floor and building on top of the new addition that they did like a year or two ago.
When you say building on top of, how does that mean?
So imagine you have your basement and you add 800 square foot to it, but you only did it at one level. We are just going up and doubling that.
Wow. Oh my. That's a lot going on there. So
Yeah.
make sure I get this right, they essentially increase the footprint of the home with the basement. And now
Yes.
we're going up from what they added to the basement. We're going to go up now.
Yeah, and again, it's a walkout basement, so only portion of it is what you would call a traditional basement. The addition is on ground, so if that makes sense. So we are now building a second story on that section.
Oof. Wow,
Yeah.
yeah, and renovating the first floor as well, right?
Yes, we're totally reimagining it, and I can show you the before and what we're proposing to do.
Let's take a look at that.
Okay. So what I should probably start at is the existing, um, which is this. And I know there's a lot of numbers on there. That's us measuring it
Mm-hmm.
because there was an architect who measured it first. And unfortunately, there was quite a bit wrong with it and quite a bit missing. This was the architect, and this is ours. You can see there's a lot more going on here
Sure.
than what they showed. And their fireplace was very incorrect. So we've corrected that. So that's what was existing. Their kitchen was or is currently here. Living room, a shared public bath with the shower, full bath, two tiny bedrooms. And this was the principal suite, so bathroom and closet there.
Wow.
What we are proposing, there's that 800 square foot addition. This is how it is. And again, I know there's a lot of notes on here, so I apologize, but we are making a much larger kitchen. Sorry, I'm going to go out of it a little bit because it bounces, but a much larger kitchen, a huge pantry, larger bedroom, and a full bathroom. a smaller powder bath, so there's not a public bath, full bath. And then mom and dad get to extend, and they have a huge principal suite, two closets each, laundry in their bathroom, and then this is the shared family room. They are not formal diners, so we are taking that island and going over, which is fun. And there's that fireplace, just to kind of give you an idea of where you're at there.
It's like a totally different house.
Yeah.
Radical.
Yeah. And like mom and dad, I met with them over the weekend because what we did is I have to go through every single cabinet. What do you want in that cabinet? So, trash, they have two dishwashers. Here's one over here. They want a dog station. These are very specific.
Mm.
They're not unique. A lot of people are adding these things, but I know I need to know specifically what's going in and what's going where. Like they want to have drawers for dry vegetables and bread, and we have special inserts for those types of items. I did, prior to meeting with them, we do have them select their appliances first before I start messing with this, because if you select, for example, this is a cooktop only. There's no oven connected to it because they got wall ovens. If I wasted time and I only put in a range, which is the top and the ovens all in one, then I just wasted a lot of their money because I spent time on that. So we have them pick that out first. I put those all in before I go through with them what they want in the cabinets. And see, they have a beverage fridge and a regular fridge. And you can see the refrigerator sticks out quite far. So I had to make sure I have minimum distance there that is required by code. But over here, I have a lot of distance. I can't push it out much further than what I have it at right now. But after I met with them, these are called elevations. It's when you take your floor plan and you turn it up. So I'm drawing exactly what is going where. I'm even doing a tile layout, which that's kind of, it hurts your eyes to look at. I apologize. But I am showing the contractor, this is how I want the tile laid out. This is where I want you to place windows. This little thing right here that I'm highlighting now, it's an open shelf so that they can put plants on for herbs. We were playing with this earlier because we want to put wallpaper up here. I wanted to make sure it made sense because it's a wallpaper with a really large repeat or pattern. So I wanted to make sure it made sense to put it there. And then this is noting that I'm turning a corner. You have to imagine you have a chainsaw and you're chopping through because it's 2D. So this is the corner cabinet. And then I turn the corner and then you've got your sink. And you can see I even put in what's behind the cabinet. That's the size of the sink that I'm putting in there. I need to make sure it fits within the cabinet. Dishwasher. This tells you that a cabinet is pulling out versus a door, which way it opens. So yeah, these are can get pretty intricate. And I put where the cooktop, it does sit a little bit above the countertop, what's going below that. And we have to now, this goes off to one of the other ones in our office and they'll price out all those cabinets. This is, we created a custom entertainment center telling the contractor where I want the window so I know how big of a TV they can get. And this is very similar to that one, but in a different area. So I have to create all these elevations for everywhere that we have cabinetry. We have cabinetry in the closets. I also have to go in. I wrote myself notes when I met with them this weekend. They want a chandelier in here and some flush mounts. They don't want any recessed cans, which is very typical. Recessed cans, I'm hoping that kind of goes away, makes your ceiling look like Swiss cheese.
Mm-hmm.
There's and the other thing about recessed cans, it gives a cone of light. It's very specific what it's lighting up. They don't light up a lot. Whereas you can get a really nice flush mount that maybe sticks out from the ceiling an inch to 2 inches, and it has lighting that disperses all the way around it. So it disperses into the room a lot more. It's way more efficient. The cost difference is it's not a lot, and it's a lot prettier than a can. But we talked about that. So I wrote notes to myself what they want specifically for lighting in her closet, for example. She's also interested in wallpapering the ceiling, which I'm very excited about. Um, she wants mirrors on the cabinet doors. So this is where we start getting very, very specific, because I have to send this off to everybody, the contractors, the cabinet makers, the electricians, plumbers need to know where the plumbing is going. I have a lot of plumbing that I'm adding right here. We're putting in a prep sink, a dishwasher, and a dog station. So none of that existed in the old plan. This is the only plumbing that was existing. So this is where we have to really make sure, one, is this possible? Two, how much is it going to cost them?
I love your attention to detail, Trish. Just amazing. Like I feel, and this is, a detailed drawing, but I feel looking at this that we have a really good feel for what it's going to look like.
Mhm.
Um, to interpret that, even that cooktop on the elevation view,
So
is that a standard thing for contractors to see, or would you have to point that out?
when I print this out for them, or when they print it out, it will be in black and white. So I heard you say these are detailed. They're not remotely as detailed as I have to go a lot further. I have to really start calling out things. We'll even put in here the code for the cabinet. I just
Wow.
haven't gotten that far yet, but there'll be a lot of arrows to things like what this tile is, what this hood cover is, and what insert goes within the hood cover. Um, so I have to call out a lot of things. I just started working with them mid-December. They want to get or permit sets into the city, hopefully in February. So I have to work with them pretty fast. This is not my norm to do it this way. I'm kind of going backwards to my norm, but I also need to get their cabinets ordered right away, because they picked a cabinet line that comes from Germany, and it has a longer lead time. It's got to come on a ship from Germany over to here. So the lead time is quite lengthy. So I have to make sure, like these dimensions, for example, I have to make sure that they're very accurate. And I think we talked about this once before. You use some fillers or whatever for just in case. So we need to make sure we account for those in case it isn't totally accurate. But
Sure.
with that being said, this that I'm hovering over with that little white cross, that's all an existing wall. So I'm really confident that we have that right. This right here, this whole section is all new. So it's the contractor needs to make sure that if we order like this, for example, I got plenty of space. So that's fine. This one in the closet, we do have some drawers going in here. I just need to make sure he really follows the drawings and that he understands exactly what I'm looking for and what we're doing in that area. This
What
is going to be interesting too, because I'm partially in the old and I'm partially in the new. So again, it is great when you have a team that works together, your construction team and your designer. We are the architect as well. So we have to be working together really, really well and making sure, like I said, that one, this is possible. Two, how much is it going to cost? Because we need to get the pricing to the client right away to make sure that this is in their price point.
having the architect under your umbrella, it just seems that is the way to go because you're in complete communication with that person, and there's so
Yeah.
much detail going on here that there's got to be talk back and forth. As you plan this whole thing out, because you might have a vision The architect may say, no, take a look at this. We can't do this, or vice versa.
Right.
If they're not closely aligned with the designer, I think there could be miscommunications or delays along the way, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And that's why like I met with a client this weekend. I meet with the contractor on Wednesday, I believe. So I have a lot to button up before I even meet with him. But it does make it a lot easier that we're all in-house. The contractor is his own separate entity, but um, we're able to work really closely with him. So,
What would you say, aside from the cabinets from Germany, is your biggest challenge right now, or maybe the top two biggest challenges?
making sure that the plumbing where we're hoping it can go and proposing for it is possible. Because, like I said, well, anything is possible. It's a matter of if the client can afford it in their investment point. But like in the existing, there is no plumbing here either, and I am proposing a whole bathroom there. But what I do know is there's a garage under here. So it's a lot easier to put plumbing in a garage. This area was the existing basement. This is new. I don't really want to cut into what is practically new. It's no more than 2 years old.
Hmm.
But the client really wants to have their bathroom over there. So that is in the new section. So I have to talk, you know, a lot with the contractor. Do you have to tear up the ceilings in the basement, or how is this going to affect the basement part? This, I don't really have I already talked to him really quick about it before I even suggested it. This, I'm not sure how it's going to go but what I, what I do know from the existing is there was already plumbing in this area, and I'm hoping we can just keep zipping it over there without damaging the new basement below too much.
What are they using that basement space for now?
So there are 3 bedrooms down here for the children and a bathroom that they added. Um, the existing basement, I know that there's an office for one of the parents down there, and there's like a family family room.
Hmm.
And that's all that's down in this area. And then this is garage below this.
This
So
is a huge project with a time crunch.
yes.
Do you ever get yeah, there's a lot of responsibility going on here, Trish? You know,
Yeah.
sometimes you feel it like, whoa, okay, all hands on deck on this one. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah, this one is a little, it causes a little anxiety, but at the same time, this is an amazing, ideal client for me because they're willing to think outside the box. They want to do a lot of really fun things. For example, I'm sure you've seen something like this, but they have this little piece of furniture that is a bar, but it looks like a British phone booth, that they really wanted me to keep within the new space. I don't
wait,
have
hold on. Let me get that straight. What is that now?
So it looks like a British phone booth, the red telephone booths,
Sure.
but you open up the door and it's like a bar. It's you can put liquor and wine glasses up here, and then there's like a cabinet below to put
So
more.
it's relatively small.
Well, it's pretty tall. It's taller than I am, and I'm 5.5 feet. So it's a pretty tall unit, and it's probably 3 feet wide.
Wow.
But
Okay.
because of everything that, all the needs, there's not any leftover space for it. So I have proposed to them that we take the door off of that existing unit because it wasn't an expensive piece. It's not an antique. It's not an heirloom. You know, but it's got a cool door that looks like a phone booth door.
Mm.
If we disassemble this little unit and take the door off and make it the door to your pantry, and we frost the glass so people don't even know there's a pantry behind here, like that's one thing where I can, they really wanted to keep it and have it somewhere. Well, I can kind of keep it. I can create a new bar within your pantry. I've also I've got cabinetry over here where you can have a real nice big bar or whatever you want over there. But I can take that piece that you really loved about it, which is the door or the exterior of it, disassemble it and repurpose it over here.
Very
So,
creative.
and then they want a lot of wallpaper in a lot of places. So that's fun. And they're excited about fun light fixtures over here. So this is your kitchen island, but you can see it's not, I don't have an overhang for the bar on it. They have 10 people that they need to seat. Um, so instead of this right here is going to be the same countertop. We're just going to turn the corner and push it over here. But instead of just posts, we're going to use table bases that are a little more ornate and it's wood to put under the quartz over here, which I haven't seen a lot of people doing that. And I thought it would just be more unique and fun. And they were totally open to that. Um, so once we get everything approved from the contractor and figure out all the actual light fixtures and I finish all these elevations, then we're going to do renderings, which we can show you hopefully in the upcoming months.
If all goes as expected, permits come in, no issues, everything is falling into place as it should. Perfect world, let's just say.
Yeah.
What do you think is the approximate completion date of everything
Oh,
here?
completion date? Um, well, they were hoping to start in May. I kind of crushed that dream. I'm thinking they should start July or August. Completion, if everything aligns perfectly around Christmas time, but I know better. It's going to be probably past that.
So, just
Um,
to understand the process, you said start around May, perfect world.
that's what they wanted to do.
Okay,
I
yeah.
already crushed that. We are looking at July, August.
Now, why would it take so long to even start? Is that because all the permits, finalizing everything, making sure the cabinets have arrived, and
Yes,
everything else, all the other materials, everything? You're essentially, it sounds like you're not going to start until you got everything all ready to go.
correct.
Okay.
That's what I prefer because then if everything is in and available, in the immediate area, there might be some at my warehouse, there might be some at the contractor's warehouse or stored somewhere. But if everything is here, then they can go a lot faster. If we order as we go, they could have started in May. The permits would probably be in by that time and good to go. But my concern is if the cabinets take 6 months, for example, and I hope that's not how long it takes, but if there's a storm in the ocean, they can take that long. But
Mm.
if they start all this and we're waiting on things, that's just a work stoppage and it just sits. And then people are out of because they have to move out of their house for a portion of this, or they all stuff down into the basement. And it's like I said, it's a big family.
Yeah.
So they have already made arrangements. Some of them will probably stay down in the basement, but some of them are going to move out. So, you want them out of their house as little as possible. It still takes time. And this is it's all new flooring. It's like this 800 square feet. That's a big addition. That alone, we have to make sure that, well, the contractor, not me, but the contractor needs to make sure the wall and the roof, the walls and roof is up and good to go before you start anything on the inside.
Mm.
And you want to get that up. Our winter here was pretty lame. Our fall was lame, but I don't know what next year is like. You want to get it up before bad weather comes.
Sure. Yeah,
So,
you never know what to expect. I remember I had a house built years ago, but it was a mild winter. They poured the foundation on Halloween, so October 31st. I moved in first week of January, like almost unheard of because
yeah,
it was mild. And everything worked out well. There wasn't any like, major issues. But I will, if I were to circle back on that, because everything moved so fast, things I would have liked were left out, like running certain cables in the wall, little
Mm,
things, little extra things that, when you're doing something custom like this, if you're intentional and take the time, you're not going to forget it. But if you're just like, go now, and I sold another place, so I had to get in on that date. Otherwise, I'd be staying in a hotel, with a kid, and
right.
blah 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 blah. But looking back, I regret not running wires for this, doing that. It got done, but
Yeah.
it sounds like you're being reasonable in terms of expectations, tapping the brakes from their want of the May start. And
Yeah.
this is this house is a ranch.
No, it's a tri-level. So from the exterior front street view, it looks like a two-story, but it's one of those where the stairs, they scissor. Some go
Okay.
up and some go down.
So what's
So,
upstairs?
well, this is the upstairs.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Gotcha.
yeah,
You know what? The house I just sold, very similar because there was a basement. It was finished. Then there was a level. Um, it's same, call it a high ranch, if you will. That kind
yeah,
of feel to it.
yeah. It's very similar to
Yeah.
what you're explaining.
Mm, wow. Very exciting. Thank you for showing us this. This
Yeah,
is
absolutely.
mind blowing and exciting too. I'm excited for them.
Yeah.
It's going to be some challenges with displacement and such, but it sounds like you're managing it amazingly. So many pieces. I don't know how you don't have anxiety. I'd be up all night
I,
worrying about
well,
that.
I my first anxiety is meeting with the contractor, and if he boo-boos something, then I have to start over. So
Yeah.
I'm hoping what we're dreaming, because this is the dream for them, that can all come to
Mm.
fruition. Anything is possible, but again, it's like we have to make sure we're in their investment point too.
Yep. 100%. And it's all of this is down to your team. You pick the
Yeah.
right people to work with because it reflects on you. So that contractor is not somebody that you just, grabbed. I'm sure you've worked with them on a lot of other projects or a considerable amount of projects.
Well, and he actually did their addition for them in the
Oh, okay.
basement.
So he's familiar with the
So
project. Okay,
he's
cool.
very familiar with the project, very familiar with the clients. He actually referred us to them. So it's going to be, we've created a really good team for this one in
Wow.
particular.
Exciting. If
Yeah.
somebody wants to pick your brain on something, maybe work with you, I know that a lot of this can be done virtually.
Yes.
How do we find you?
You can just Google Tab Interior Designs, and that's like Tango Alpha Bravo. And you can find all of our social media, website, phone number, and just contact us.
Fantastic. Thank you for showing this today.
Yeah.
Really exciting. And the way you did it, the way the plans are laid out, I feel like I'm there. I'm looking at plans, but I feel like I'm actually looking at the vision when it would be completed just from your plans because of the detail. Amazing. Appreciate it. And
Yeah.
we'll catch up soon.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks, Trish.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.